What is up, guys, and welcome to another training diary. Let's bring you through the week. This week was my second week being back on track training wise, and I think my 10th day or so tracking my macros and everything, so things are still rough. It's still a huge mental battle to keep eating properly, tracking everything. We've also been eating a lot of home cooked meals, so tracking has been the best I can be because there are some crazy recipes in there, but all in all, we've been following the plan for the most part. Workout wise, my finger still a little messed up, so had to modify some of my training. Been using straps that I don't usually use, but finger is getting stronger. Been doing some strengthening exercises, some stretching exercises, passive mobility, active mobility stuff, just to make sure that is getting better. So moving on forward, I've had my finger splinted for a little over a week now, so we should see some better progress going forward. Food is getting more consistent. Like I said, had some meals that I'm not really able to track very well, but what I've been doing in those cases is I've been taking the normal amount of food that I usually eat. So let's say I eat 8 ounces of meat, which is about 230-ish grams, 200 grams of rice, 100 grams of vegetables, plus some sauce and everything. So usually my meals are about 500 to 600 grams. I've been measuring out 500 to 600 grams of these meals just to make sure that I'm close. And yeah, it's not perfect, it's not exact, but it's gonna get me somewhere close to where I wanna be. So been doing that. Other than that, been eating well, keeping my calories the same day in and day out, just to keep everything consistent. Unfortunately, my weight has dropped a little bit faster than I intended to, but that is okay. Hopefully it comes back up a little bit. So far in the last 8 days of weighing myself every day, I've dropped 4 pounds, which is not ideal. It's a little too fast. So I want to get that up by a little bit. If it keeps going down too quickly in the following weeks, I'm going to bump my calories up by a little bit just to make sure everything's not going down too fast. Sleep has been pretty rough. Been in bed for, I want to say 8 to 9 hours a day, but haven't been sleeping very well. Tossing, turning, waking up, needing to go to the bathroom, stuff like that. So sleep has not been the greatest, but we haven't been working nearly as much. So my recovery is okay, not great, not bad, but it's all right. Caffeine intake since the last time I talked to you was way high. I think it was like 1200 milligrams, something like that. Now we are down to about 400 milligrams a day, which for those of you who don't know, that's about 4 cups of coffee. So we're slowly getting that down. Ideally, I want to keep it around 200 to 400 milligrams in a day. Now that's not very obscene, especially considering how large I am, but it's going to be a struggle to keep that down at that level. But we're going to keep working on that, making sure nothing changes too much. Action plan for this week is to keep building these habits. Now, because I'm kind of out of the swing of things, it's hard for me. It's not fun, let's just put it that way. I have to set time outside of my normal things that I do to work out, to measure my food out. And it's kind of a challenge to make these habit changes. So we're gonna keep working on those. And the more I go, the more competitive I get with myself and my training and my numbers and everything. So I try and get better and better each day that I do it, just because I'm crazy. So the more I do it, the more kind of in depth I get with it and more anal I am about it. So I'm gonna keep building these habits, gonna keep going for it, gonna keep rehabbing my finger, trying to build the strength back so I can get back into climbing. Until then, I have some rehab that I'm doing with some bands, with some like stress ball type things, just to help strengthen it up. Keep the brace on about half the time, and being careful when I'm lifting, when I'm at work, when I'm doing anything that could require a lot of stress on it. I make sure I wear the brace just to remind myself not to bend it and use it too much. So yeah, that's the action plan for this week. Stick to the programs and the plans that I have in place. just to build up the joy of training and enjoyment out of everything again. Yeah, so what can I say? I'm glad to be back though. It's been an interesting time without my main hobby, so getting on back.